Hello and welcome back downtown Indianapolis to the Indiana Convention Center. Day 3 of NFL Scouting Combine festivities going on, and it was another jam-packed day on Thursday as we continued to hear from players looking to realize their dream of playing in the NFL, take the podium, kind of sell themselves to media members gathered. But bar none, without question, the biggest crowd of the day was circling around Colorado cornerback, wide receiver, the reigning Heisman winner, Travis Hunter. Take a listen.
What's up?
Travis, so many people talking about your ability as a receiver or a corner. Are you excited to show people that you can actually be a returner, dynamically at the NFL level?
I don't know about returning. I already got 2 jobs on my hand.
Travis, you're from South Florida. What do you think produces the best talent, Florida or Georgia?
I grew up in Florida, but I was a Georgia boy at the end of the day. But I'll say for Florida.
Travis, you know about the financial press that you just said the NFL someday?
Nah, that's not my focus right now.
Travis, what do you know about Green Bay, and are you excited to kind of begin your career as a draft at Lambeau?
Yeah, definitely excited to get out there and get my name called. But I don't know nothing for real about Green Bay.
Travis, your decision to come and work at DB, what was behind it?
There was no decision. I mean, I'm listed as both.
What were your impressions of the Jaguars?
My impressions of the Jaguars, I don't want to get no impressions on any team, but all the teams that I met with, I had good impressions with.
Travis, you know with the career that you've done in college football, Heisman, Lindenbrough, been there, Cardinal Horns, do you feel like that you stamped yourself as one of the 10 best college football players to ever play the game?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I stamped myself. I mean, I have some of the top awards and the biggest award in college football, so I feel like, I stamped myself.
Travis, one of your biggest plays in college was that pick against TCU, breaking down that 5-yard quarterback. Was that something you saw on film or more of an instinctual thing? Just walk us through that.
Definitely something we saw on film and definitely something we worked on in practice, but it was definitely an instinctive thing.
Travis, being able to be here, a lot of people were upset when you went to an ACC coming out of high school. Being able to get here, how did you feel being able to put on not only Colorado, but really HBCUs?
I feel like I put on good, and I hope they accept me for doing what I did.
Travis,
Next question.
Travis,
In the NFL, I got my own unique play style. I play both sides of the ball. Not that many people in the NFL have done it. Everybody know I can light up a room just by walking in. I always have a smile on my face. I bring the excitement, and I'm a great communicator.
what do you think of those Heisman commercials? Do you want to be in one?
Yeah, I definitely want to be on one. I can't wait to go to the house and be able to film one of those.
What do you like about them?
It's just super funny and it's genuine.
What would your dream brand collaboration be outside of it?
I don't have a dream brand collaboration.
What are teams telling you about whether we should play? I think it's different for each team.
I did some meetings at receiver, did some meetings at DB, so it's still up in the air. They say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different person.
Travis, I get to top 5 corners in the game.
I don't have a top 5.
How important for you to go number 1?
You said what? That's super important. That was one of my dreams, go number 1 and be the best I can be.
Travis, why play 100 plays a game on both sides of the ball? Like, you play both sides of the ball 10 plays on one side, full time on the other. Why at the NFL level do you think you can do both plays full time?
I mean, nobody have done it, but I feel like I'll put my body through a lot. I do a lot of treatment. People don't get to see that part, what I do to my body to make sure I'm 100% each game, but I feel like I can do it because nobody have done it, and I know I can do it. I did it at college level, which the game is, we rarely get breaks, and it's a lot more breaks in the NFL.
Travis,
What you said? Just my attitude and my competitiveness.
Travis, playing both sides of the ball, your film process must be unique looking at both sides of the ball. How do you study film and what are you looking for in the receivers game?
I mean, that's a long question, a long answer, but I just go in there and you look at every guy different. Every guy's not the same. Everybody have a unique style. So I try to find that unique style of what that guy has, and I try to lock and key in on it.
Travis, you were on the cover of TV last year. Who do you think should be on the cover this year?
I think I should be on another cover.
Hey Travis, if Travis Hunter was covering Travis Hunter, who comes down?
Travis Hunter.
Travis, have you had a chance to do the Patriots yet?
Next question. You said, how did we push each other? We competitive, we want to see each other win, so we are probably the most hardest on each other because we know what we can do and we know what type of player we are going to grow into be. Next one. Next question. I really haven't talked to him. I think he just gave me my space and let me go through the stuff by myself. I've been doing it for a long time, so I feel like I can keep doing it. I can't hear you. I can get the ball in the end zone.
Pregame style, are you going for the fashion, making a statement, or comfort?
What you say?
Pregame style, are you going
Nah, I go for comfort. Yeah, I love to be comfortable.
Do you remember the last time you were exhausted playing football? Is that often?
The last time I've been exhausted, nah, it doesn't happen really often because I put my body through so much during the week, and I know how to treat my body. I know what my body needs to be ready. He's good, very good player. I mean, yeah, I will hope for them to let me go out and earn the other position, but that's up to them, not me. I want to be 100%, but it's up to the organization. What did I learn? You out there by yourself, it's good to not have family around when it's time to lock in. I did a lot of extra studying by myself and also going up to the coach's office when nobody's there. I mean, my grandma, she used to sign me up for football when I was 4 years old, so that's all I know is football. The Little League is crazy out there. You think you're in a college football stadium. Now, and coming out of high school, yeah, he was probably the only coach that actually seen me doing it. Nah, I don't care. I'd rather just be on the football field playing football.
What does that preparation look like? You're preparing both receiver and corner in your workouts, leading up to this moment.
I spend equal time on both sides of the ball. I get my time in how it's all football for me. I have nothing else to worry about. So.
Hey Travis, can you describe the relationship you had with Beyonce and kind of how he's impacted you along the way?
It's a lot of things that he have done for me outside of football, which is like be a father figure to me. So I can go to him for anything and with anything. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be more coming because I know I put my body through a lot, but hopefully it becomes a thing. I don't have no prediction. Cold tubs, hot tubs, cryo, chamber, red lighting, just a lot of stuff. It means a lot to me. I'm one of the top guys to come out of College Hill, so hopefully they're proud of me and I'm going to keep going. What makes his game so special? His accuracy and his love for the game. This is a diehard for football. I love to compete. I'm going to play both. That's not my job to figure it out. I like to play both sides of the ball. If they give me the opportunity to play both sides of the ball, I'm going to play both sides. Toughest corner, probably from either Nebraska or Oklahoma State. And the toughest receiver is definitely T-Mac from Arizona. No, sir. No. I'm very confident. I believe he's definitely the best quarterback in this draft.
What's more difficult, what you do in football or what Tony does?
Probably me, what I do in football, because it's a lot on your body. You know, Tony, he's a great player, but you got to do a lot in football.
If you were playing both sides of the ball in football, what sport would you be?
I'll be probably playing basketball or I'll be fishing. I used to watch a lot of Jerry Judy because he's from Florida and I'm from Florida, so I kind of copy his movements a lot. But other than that, there's really no other player that I stout my game after. I didn't have no load management at Colorado. You know, Coach Prime pretty much let me do what I felt was right for my body. I'm the only person that knows what's right for my body. So I did a lot of treatment, a lot of training. I always woke up early to get to where I needed to be.
Did any of that, kind of surprise, whether it's like track, swimming, long distance, I'm trying to figure out what is the key component of your conditioning?
My key component is probably just getting up and walking around all day. Yeah.
What do you think makes South Florida so special in terms of
You said what?
What do you think makes South Florida so special in terms of like football players?
Who?
South Florida, in terms of producing like football players.
It's a different grit out there. Everybody's hard on you out there, and you grow up different from everybody. And the kids are a lot faster. So.
Have you gone into the recovery process a lot during these interviews? Have you talked to NFL teams about what that would look like for you to recover from games?
Yeah, I definitely told them what I like to do. You know, I have a set schedule of what I like to do for the recovery.
Thanks, Travis.
Obviously a very, very impressive young man. A lot of insight there and a lot of talent coming from him. Any team that gets their hands on Travis Hunter is going to be very happy they did so on both sides of the football. We'll see what an organization does with him. Does he play mainly defense? Does he kind of dabble in the wide receiver position? He's a playmaker. He can certainly do it all. All right, coming up after the break, we're going to hear from some of the potential Colts draft picks and who the Indy might be looking at come April. It's coming up for you after this break. Welcome back to the NFL Scouting Combine, Day 3 going on here in downtown Indianapolis at the Indiana Convention Center. All right, our focus on Thursday was who might the Indianapolis Colts draft in April. A lot of positional needs, offensive line, the defensive backfield. Tight end is a big one that we've heard from. Well, we talked to 3 guys who might be the best fits for the Colts come April. Number 1, of course, tight end out of Penn State, the Mackey Award winner, Tyler Warren. You won't want to miss what he had to say. Then Malaki Starks, safety out of Georgia, and Will Johnson, an impressive corner out of the University of Michigan. 3 guys that you want to keep your eye on come April. Take a listen to what they had to say on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, to have the opportunity to come here to the combine and opportunity to meet with the teams and all that. But yeah, being back here is nice. It's a great stadium, and I enjoyed being here, so it's been fun. I think what I try and do is be a guy that can kind of fit a lot of different roles. So I don't know if I have one that really sticks out above the rest, but I think that's kind of fun about the tight end position is you get to do a lot of different things within an offense. That's kind of what I try and focus on as a tight end. I have not met with them, but I mean, Brenton's there, so I know I've heard good things from him, and they got, a great program, so it'd be good to talk to him. What kind of influence Brenton on you? Yeah, Brenton helped me out a lot. I learned a lot from him, especially, physicality in the run game and the way he blocked is kind of something I looked up to, and really all those tight ends that I played with have played a big role in me in kind of developing and learning from them. Yeah, I mean, I actually talked to Theo yesterday, and Brenton's talked to me, Pat's talked to me, but yeah, they're kind of there, and if I have questions, I know I can ask them and stuff. But they're not, blowing me up because they know it's a busy time with a lot going on. But yeah, they've been a big help, and I know if there ever is any questions, I can call them or text them. They're going to help me out in any way.
Penn State scheme lined you up in the back and fullback spot a lot as well as on the line. Is that something you're excited to do in the NFL, or?
I'm really, I think I can do a lot of different things. So I'm whatever the offense needs from week to week, and kind of what they want my role to be is what I'll do, and that might change, from game to game. So I think I'm a guy that can do a lot of different things and fill a lot of different holes like that.
What type of feedback have you gotten from the NFL on that topic about what type of positions and roles they want you to play?
Honestly, it hasn't been anything too specific about it. Really hasn't, gotten into specifics of where that might be. But I think we're all kind of on the same page. There's a lot of different things you can do with the tight end in general, and then me, being able to do a lot of different things.
Why all the tight ends that have come out of Penn State?
What was that, sorry?
Why all the tight ends that have come out of Penn State recently?
Yeah, I think, getting good players there is kind of something we've always done at tight end. I think Ty Howell's done a great job of recruiting guys and then developing guys when they're there. He's been on a good run so far, and then there's some young guys in that room now that are going to be really good. So I don't think it's going to be going anywhere with the tight end production at Penn State. I'm not sure yet what I'll be doing for that.
Have you met with the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I did meet with the Bucs yesterday.
Is that a formal meeting, and what would it be like to play with Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I played there in 2021 for the Outback Bowl, so that been in that stadium, that area, and it was really nice. And then obviously he's kind of turned it on these past few years and coming a really good quarterback. So that'd be a cool opportunity to get to play with him.
Tyler, can I get your top 5 tight ends in the game today, no order?
I'd say Kittle and Kelsey probably are up there. Pat Fryermuth if I had to pick, and then I'm probably going with Brenton Strange and Theo Johnson are my top 5.
Tyler, as you look ahead to the future, reflect a little bit on what it was like to play with Drew Allen and how you feel yourself now.
Yeah, so I actually hosted Drew when he was a recruit, his coming into college. But yeah, he's he's kind of a calm, quiet guy when you meet him, and then he gets his competitive and fire going. When he's out there playing, I think as an offense we respond to that well. When you see your quarterback, your leader, and the kind of intensity he brings when it's not always seen at that position like that. But yeah, really just being with them for 3 years and having that connection, I think really helped us out this year, and just kind of trusting each other and having that trust. I don't know. There's probably a lot of good options, but I don't have much say in that, so I couldn't give you a great answer. Yeah, I met with them yesterday as well, and like I said, I've been in Indy before, and I like the stadium a lot and kind of the area, so that'd be just the opportunity to have a chance to play in the NFL, and if it was here, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, he's definitely one of a kind, and a heck of an athlete at the quarterback position. He's a great quarterback too, so that'd be really cool.
Some people, like you said, short schedule, some people have lost you to the 49ers and 11. What would you think about pairing up with him?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great opportunity. Obviously, one of the best tight ends to play football and be able to learn from him and kind of pick up on some stuff that he does would obviously be a great opportunity for me and be able to learn from him. Yeah, I think they use tight ends in a great way, and they use a lot of tight ends in a lot of different ways. So I think that'd be a fun scheme to be able to be a part of. If I wasn't playing and if I wasn't coaching, because if I wasn't playing, I probably would be coaching somehow. But I'd probably be golfing or fishing is what I really like to do. So maybe if I can make a career out of one of those two, that's what I'd try and do. Well, I did. I wear 44 because when I was younger, my dad put on John Riggins' film and said, "This is how I want you to run the ball." But yeah, I think so. Another guy I saw this summer was Jeremy Shockey, and the way he kind of played and the way his mentality running the ball was something I kind of liked and kind of do a little bit of this year.
What do you feel separates you from the rest of the tight ends, maybe?
I mean, me personally, I'm not really focused on trying to be better than other people, just trying to be the best tight end I can be, and I think that's kind of what's helped me, just doing whatever is needed within our offense is kind of what I focus on, what I try and be good at a lot of different things so I can fill a lot of different roles within our offense.
What do you feel like you bring to the table? What's something that teams maybe are telling you, they like your inline block and they like your receiving? What did they sort of talk to you about your technique?
I mean, it's really been both. Obviously, being a tight end, it's if you want to be a really good one, you're going to have to do both. You can't just go out and catch passes, and you can't just be a run blocker. And I think that's kind of the fun part about the position. That's kind of been what I've been trying to get across when I have been the opportunity to meet with these teams.
You talked about carrying the ball, and you're a little bit elusive for a guy of your size. What is it that you do in your practice and you work off the field to get that?
Yeah, I think part of it just goes back to when I did start playing football at a young age, carrying the ball and playing a lot of different sports, just different movements that you get used to. And then I think it really is, when it is ball security and we get to go work with the running backs and the running back coaches taking them seriously and knowing that you can get something out of it and it's not just, another period in practice, but an opportunity to really work on something to get better at it. Yeah, I mean, when I first started playing football, it was something that I wanted to do, obviously, and kind of what my goal was. And then, getting to college, I honestly wasn't, too sure my first year. I had a little bit of growth to do kind of in the physical aspect of it. But I mean, I guess, kind of middle of college when the coaches sat me down and said I would have, an opportunity, what that would look like, wasn't sure at the time. I still had a few more years. But yeah, I'd say college was when I kind of realized I might have a chance to actually, get to extend my career and have the opportunity to play in the NFL.
You talked about being back here in this stadium and you met with the Colts and the number 44. Did you have any knowledge of Dallas Clark? He did a lot in 44 as a tight end for this franchise.
Yeah, I did. Growing up, I knew the name and knew him playing with Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne and those guys. So yeah, that's a good example to have the 44 at tight end. But he was a great player. It's probably one of our summer workouts where we'd have a big leg day, and then we'd go out and run a conditioning test, and then we'd go to the hills, and we run some hills, and then come back in, and we're doing sled pushes across the field. So that was usually a Thursday. I think it was Thursdays in the summer was our big days. So that was about every week we were doing something like that. You said the best impression Coach Franklin left on me? As a person, I mean, I feel like he's obviously a great coach, had a lot of success. But also, if I, was stranded on the side of the road at midnight trying to make a trip, and I called him, he'd come pick me up, and I know he'd answer his phone and stuff like that. So I know football. He's going to set me up, but he's also going to make me a better person. And just he's a great overall guy, and that's kind of what drew me to him, and the family aspect of it, knowing he's got my back on and off the field. I didn't meet the Patriots. I have not, but yeah, I mean they're a great program with a lot of history, and they got a lot of great young players there as well.
Tyler, it's been reported that you won't test tomorrow at the scouting combine. Do you plan to fully athletic test during the pro day?
The pro day, I'm not sure exactly what it will look like yet, but that's still kind of in the process of deciding. Yeah, I say when I got to Penn State, I wasn't really a fully developed tight end yet, and I had to kind of wait my turn and learn from the guys in front of me, and understanding that I wasn't at the point where I needed to be able to play and contribute, and trusting the process. Everybody's looks different. Mine took a few years until I really got into the flow of college football. Like Theo came in and he was playing his freshman year, and we had a great relationship, but not comparing to something like that. And just all around college, you're going to see guys play right away. You're going to see guys take a few years before they really get a role. So that was just kind of what I focused on. Yeah, I mean, I think he did a lot of good stuff this year, and he's a great example just to learn from and kind of see how he plays the game. But yeah, I mean, it is a great example to look at, and it was awesome to see him do that this year.
Tyler, when you look back,
yeah, we haven't talked about that. I talked to him yesterday, like I said, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Any of these tight ends that I played with, if I did have the opportunity to team up with them again and get back on the field with them, would be awesome. Just from those relationships we've built in college. We have some similarities and we have some differences. I think Theo is as athletic as a tight end you'll find and can run great routes and is a really fast guy. So he might be a little higher up in that scale, and I do more of a little bit of everything. But we yeah, he helped me out a lot, and I couldn't say enough good things about Theo and kind of what he's meant to me through my process of being a football player.
Tyler, looking back on your college career, what's like the one moment that you are going to remember the most as you move on to the next stage?
I don't know if there's just one moment that sticks out, but really it's, we play all the games and do all that, but it's really just the relationships that I've built. And, when I do get the chance to go back to Penn State, I'm excited to see the guys that I played with last year and just be around them again, because those relationships you build for 1 to 2 years are going to last you the rest of your life. So that's kind of what I really like about the game.
Who are some of those younger players that you've built relationships with that you're expecting to see here from Penn State?
Yeah, I think Luke Reynolds, our freshman tight end that was playing this year, is the real deal, and he's as good as a freshman tight end that I've seen come in, and so I'm excited to see where his career goes. I know he's going to be a special player. You said with George, the 49ers? No, I haven't met with the 49ers, but yeah, Kittle's a great example. He does everything pretty well, run after the catch, blocking, route running, and but yeah, I think he is a good one to watch and kind of pick some stuff off his game. Yeah, I did meet with them. That was on Tuesday, I believe. I met with the Bengals, but yeah, I think something going into this season, the run after the catch was something I kind of wanted to be better at, that I could improve on. I feel like I did a good job. Obviously, could always be better at it, but that was something that I thought was emphasis for me going into the season. I feel like I did have some better production in that. Yeah, I mean he's a great quarterback, and it's hard to look bad when you have a great quarterback like that that's going to put you in the right positions with the throws. So that'd be an awesome guy to have as a quarterback. Yeah, I met with Miami yesterday, and it was he's a unique guy and is a smart offensive mind. So that was kind of cool being in there and talking to him, and I enjoyed that one. So that was nice to meet him. It was a fun meeting. I mean, I feel like it probably depends from team to team, but really it's, kind of being able to talk to them and hear how I talk about the game and kind of how I process things, I think is the biggest goal from what I've kind of noticed. But like I said, it could be a lot different from team to team.
Tyler, what's the backstory when you snapped the ball and caught the touchdown? How did that come to be?
Yeah, that was because I don't think that's ever really been ran before, a play like that. So I think they cooked that up on their own in the offensive staff room, and we had it in the game plan for like 2 weeks, but not really, on like we're going to call it. And then when we got to the USC week, he was like, as soon as we get across the 50 and we're on the left hash, like we're going to get that called. So we knew once we got there it was probably going to get called. No, I thought it was going to work. I was supposed to run a corner route, and then that safety kind of leaked down over there, so I ended up just piping it straight up the field, and then Drew just being on the same page gave me a chance. But yeah, I thought it was probably going to work. It didn't really work out the way we thought it would, but it did work at the end of the day. I haven't met with the Bears yet, but I'd say kind of what I try and be as a football player is unselfish, and I feel like, whether it's catching 15 passes in a game or having 100 run block reps, that's, going to do either of those to the best of my ability. And if we win, I'm going to be happy either way. And that's kind of the way I approach the game. And I think what makes me is a trait about me that I think is a good one. Yeah, I think when you come to Penn State to play tight end, that's going to be the first thing. If you want to get on the field, is you're going to have to be a willing blocker and play with that mentality. And that's starts with Ty Howell, our coach. That's kind of the standard he puts in our room and what we're expected to hold up. And that's what Brenton was a good example. That's kind of his standard that he was showing. I know I had to keep that up when I did get the opportunity to play.
You talked about developing physically as a tight end freshman season. Talk a little bit about how the program, the strength program specifically at Penn State, helped develop.
Yeah, I mean that's Coach Losey does a great job. It was Coach Galt there before him, and they were working together, so it was pretty similar the whole time I was there. But they do a great job, and then I think a lot of it, once you do get that strength and you take the weight room seriously, is having the technique behind it, right? Because everybody lifts weights, everybody's strong, and the difference between having your hand here and here can be a big thing. So I think the technique to go along with the strength is a big part of it. I mean, I was always a good squatter, and the power clean were probably my two best, and that was, probably the most fun for me in the weight room. I'm sorry, who did I meet with? Who? Yeah, I met with the Broncos last night, but like I said earlier, kind of the thing I wanted to know is just, the team is more important than myself, and that's kind of what I love about the game of football, being able to serve the team, and that's kind of, the biggest point I've been trying to get across when I do the chance to talk to these teams.
So Cincinnati was my first meeting. That went really well, very knowledgeable, really good meeting. But I think my biggest thing is just being versatile, being able to move around, being able to line up inside, outside, in the box, being able to understand the defense and communicate. I think that's my biggest strength.
Basically, every mock draft has you going 13-0. Have you had any meetings with Miami yet? And what would your thoughts be on possibly living in South Beach?
Yeah, I met with Miami yesterday. Great meeting, great coaching staff. And really, I haven't really been paying attention to any of the mock drafts. I've just been kind of here putting in work and the rest of fall where it may.
Have you met with the Panthers?
Yes, sir.
How did that meeting go? What do you think about playing in Carolina?
It went really good. I'll be lucky to play anywhere, so I just want to play anywhere.
How do you think you can help a team who's struggling like they are on defense?
Yeah, I think I could just come in and bring that juice, be able to move around, be a chess piece, so to speak, so you can move me around, and I think I can add value.
Everyone says
Yes, sir. I just want to compete. I'm here to compete. There's a bunch of great guys here, a bunch of talented guys, and I just want to go out there and compete with them.
everyone talks about being that chess piece. Is versatility a key part in this? Being able to kind of go wherever you want to go, rather than just kind of be stuck in one spot, just be good at one thing?
I think it helps. Creates value not for yourself, but also just for the defense. I think when you're able to plug yourself in different situations, you can bring other people in to play as well, and I think that's a huge part.
Malaki, we're seeing in recruiting now, seeing some dudes want to go two-way like Travis Hunter. You would have been a candidate for that with your high school career. When you think back, would you have ever wanted to be a two-way player at the college level? Do you think you'll see a lot more guys trying to do what Travis did?
It would have been fun. My college worked out well for me, so I'm not complaining. But it definitely would have been fun for sure.
What do you think about what Travis Hunter did? I mean, did you keep an eye on that? He's another Georgia
Yeah.
star like you.
I think it's great, talk about value, a guy that can play both sides of the ball at a high level, I think that's huge. So that's great for him and his career.
Malaki, you met with the Jaguars yet? Just what would it be like playing all three high school?
Yeah, Georgia, the history they have, that's a really big reason why I chose to come. Guys like them who set the standard before I had came. And I haven't met with the Jaguars yet, but I'll be grateful to get an opportunity.
What do you remember about playing with Tyke?
Yeah, just his mind. Taki's one of the smartest people I've ever played with. Just kind of learning under him and the things that he taught me and just the way he went about his business. He's really a pro.
Malaki, can I get your top five safeties in the NFL no order?
Top five. I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton, Brian Branch, Buda Baker, Xavier McKinney. I'm going to throw Javon Bullitt in there.
You mentioned Kyle Hamilton. You've been linked to the Ravens a lot already. What do you think about the possibility of potentially being teamed up with Kyle Hamilton?
Yeah, just the way he moves. I watch a lot of his tape because I want to play like him. I want to see how I can put it into my playing style. He's able to move around, be in the box, go cover, be in the middle of the field. So just the kind of versatility that he has, I'm trying to put that in my game as well.
The guy who played in Kirby Smart's defense, and everybody talk about how tough it is. You did it for 3 straight years.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the valuable lessons you learned from playing for him, shooting, landing, all those guys.
Yeah, just tough. We talk about toughness, resiliency, composure, connection. I think that's huge. I think that's the first thing when I learned when I got to Georgia, is how to be tough, how to go about my business, how to be a pro. And, when I got there, guys like Chris Smith, guys like Dan Jackson really took me under their wing, and just being able to learn the system and kind of, as my years went on, be that guy that they were to me. I think that was huge.
Kirby praised you all the time. I don't want to say you were teacher's pet, but Kirby loved you from the jump. Did he hit you up on the hot mic behind the scenes? And what would he say to you? What was your call out?
Yeah, he very intense. He played the spot, so that's kind of like his baby. He was in every meeting. I'm not gonna say some of the things that he said, but no, he was very intense for sure.
Even on you?
Yes, sir.
Malaki, teams, what are the biggest question marks they've had?
Sorry, one more time.
In all your meetings with teams, what are kind of the most common question marks they've got?
Just where I could be, where I can line up. I think that speaks to my versatility. Some guys ask me to line up outside. Some guys want me at nickel. They want me at safety. So it's just where I'll fit in their scheme. I'll play anywhere.
Malaki, how was it playing more nickel this year compared to last
Yeah, I think it just really helped. I think I'm really comfortable in the slot, just having that experience, and I think just being able to learn the defense. You know, when I'm at the slot, I know what my safeties are doing, I know what my corners are doing, so I'm just able to play with the defense, but also play with my leverage as well. Yeah, really just be myself, get my rest and be myself, and the rest will take care of itself. I was on the phone with Javon Bullard, Tyke Smith, and Kamari Lassiter, and they were just saying, just go be you, and the rest will take care of itself. Yeah, I think people don't look at them all the time how they should, maybe. You know, it's an awesome position. It really is. I think it's the best position you can play, DB in general. You just get to go out there and compete, and I just love it. So I think I want to bring some light to it for sure.
Have you met with the Buccaneers this year?
Yes, sir.
Was that formal or informal?
Formal.
And how'd that go with Todd Bowles, and what would it be like playing that defense?
Yeah, it went really well. And just, you know, Taki being one of my good friends, it'd be great to go team up with him. But like I said earlier, I'll be blessed to play anywhere. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome. I get to stay home. But, you know, I watched them growing up, and, you know, they got great history there. So just being able to, you know, I just want to get my foot in the door anywhere. Sorry, one more time? No, sir. Yeah, I met with them. Awesome coaching staff. I mean, the history they have there, too, as well. I mean, it's crazy. And like I said earlier, Chris was kind of my mentor coming in. So I learned a lot from him. And then, you know, just going against Brock every day. You know, Brock is Brock. There's not too much to say there. So it'd be great for sure.
Yeah, one question about that. Kirby tells the story about how he pissed Brock off by blanketed him. Look at this little freshman coverage, Brock. Do you remember that day, and how much better did it make you to work against Brock?
Yeah, I think coming in as a freshman, they just came off the natty. I'm trying to find, you know, where I fit, you know. I come in, I'm trying to take a spot. I start at money linebacker in the down package. That's my first starting job, and I think the big reason why I got on the field is during camp I beat him more than he beat me. And, you know, he was the best tight end in the country, so they figured if I could cover him, I could cover anybody. And I think just going against him, just getting those reps, you know, he's such a great player. I mean, the things he do is crazy. So just being able to compete against him really made me hone in my gift.
Nobody in the NFL could. I mean, how did you manage to cover him in that practice?
Just learning, just watching the way he move, learning how to move my feet, and just competing. I think that was my biggest thing when I got to Georgia. I didn't care where I played. I just wanted to get on the field. So when I got the opportunity, I took it and ran with it.
What's the question or these injuries that caught you by surprise?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
What would it mean to practice and just be against a guy like CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, that kind of
Yeah, I mean, there's great guys all around the league. You know, that's my biggest part, just wanting to come in and want to compete, like I said earlier. So it'd be an honor.
The Clemson-Oregon interceptions stand out, but if there's one game, one moment that kind of defines who you are as a player, how do you feel? Show the tape.
Probably Texas. I think when you look at Texas, you look at the tape I'm coming down and covering. I'm making plays from the back end also, but I think when you look at it, my leadership also stands out as well. The first game in Texas was a little crazy with all the stuff being thrown on the field and, you know, just the game, how it was going up and down. But just being able to, you know, keep guys calm, just be in that leader position that I am, that I was able to be in, I think that's a great game to watch.
Malaki, someone that you got to work really closely with was Dave Jackson. He wasn't granted the opportunity to be here. If you could give a pitch to NFL teams on why they should draft him, what would that is?
If you get Dan, you get the whole package. You know, Dan's not here. I hate it, but Dan's that guy. Like I said earlier, I learned from Dan when I first got here. Me and Dan were competing for the same job, and, you know, we ended up working alongside each other. You know, he's like my brother to this day, and I think when you look at Dan, I mean, there's nothing he can't do. He's smart, he can cover, he can get in the box, and I think he shows that. He's very physical. I think, you know, he's a gem for sure. Not really. I try to, you know, have my own playing style, but I do look at the way they play, and I try to, you know, put that in my playing style as well.
Georgia DBs are kind of lauded for their versatility in football. What is it about the program that allows you guys to do that?
Yeah, I mean, the University of Georgia, I mean, they just teach you so much. It's not just about, you know, being physical and, you know, the X and O's. I mean, they really teach you like the mental part of the game as well. I think that's the biggest thing. You can't get on the field until they trust you. And I think just being able to learn, sit in those meetings, just the history they have there. Will Muschamp, T-Rob's there now, Coach Smart, Coach Schumann. I mean, just like so many smart guys that really teach football. I think that was the biggest thing when I decided to go to Georgia. Is I really cared about defense and like just the standard that they had there, just over the whole university. I mean, it's just something you want to be a part of. I have not met with the Eagles, but I really just want to come in and create value. I want to be myself. I want to be able to move around. I don't want to change my playing style. I want to be able to be myself, and I think I'll create value for not just myself, but for the team as well.
Malaki, 2 years from now, KJ Bolton's probably going to be standing where you're standing.
Yeah.
What are we going to be saying about KJ, and what enabled him to have the kind of freshman year that he had right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for KJ is he's crazy athletic and he cares. I think, coming in, I kind of was him what Chris was to me, going back to the whole leadership role, how it's just crazy. No, I mean, he's a great athlete, really good kid, and I think, nothing but good things to say about him. One more time? Everybody has different opinions, but mine would be Coach Smart. So.
They said early in your career you was flashy, making a big play, and then when people staying away from you later, opportunities weren't there.
Yes, sir. You could look at it like that. I think I took a different role this year, just being able to be in a position to go play in the slot, maybe shut down the side of the field that they don't go to, so the players go to the other side or whatever the case may be. But I think, the thing about Georgia, you're not playing by yourself. There's so many playmakers on the field, and the job is to get it done as a group. So it doesn't matter who makes the play as long as it gets made. I think it's the people you bring with you, I think everybody has different leadership styles, and I think different situations calls for how you handle situations. But I think just the people you're able to bring along with you, not just with football, but with life as well. And I think it's how people view you, what they would say about you when you're not around. Mine is different, It goes with the situation. It may be different. Sometimes you may need to yell. Sometimes you may need to pull a guy to the side. It's just different on the situation. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, that'd be great. My freshman year, Jalen Carter sat across from me. And when I got to Georgia, I was expecting, they had all these people, great guys, And I was like, I'm about to walk in the locker room. Some people are probably going to be stuck up or whatever the case may be, but everybody was cool. And I remember JC and Javon Bullard, I remember sitting in my locker room one day and JC walked up to me. He was like, go get it. You can do it. I see you. Keep working. And that just kind of gave me that confidence because, if you ask me, JC is the best player I've ever played with, hands down. And I think just the thing that he's doing in the league, you just see it as well. So just being with those guys, that standard, Nolan Smith, those guys really played a really big part in my role at the University of Georgia. So it'd be an honor to go play with them for sure.
Now, did you have a welcome to Georgia moment physically when you were a freshman? Everybody thought you were rocking you, or what was it? Who put you on your ass?
I had a few. Kendall Milton got me when I first got there. He got me when I first got there, and then covering AD got me. We had call-outs. I called out AD, I called out Ladd. They both got me. Being in that situation, being with guys like that, being able to compete, that's made me who I am today, so I'm grateful for it.
Malaki, what's the most surprising question you've been asked during these interviews with NFL?
Not really. It's just talking ball. I can talk ball all day. I think that's something I learned at the University of Georgia, just being able to be versatile and just understand my assignment and where everybody's supposed to be. So.
Speaking of that versatility, it's such a huge thing in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You get guys like Brian Branch,
Yep.
being able to play nickel,
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think that's part of your game? You watch Brian and all those guys make it look at just because of the versatility?
Yeah, I met him at a Pro Bowl dinner, so I got to chop it up with him, and I watched a lot of his tape. Like I said earlier, just trying to put his playing style into mine, just being able to move around. I think when you look at it, he comes in and impact right away because of that versatility, just being able to move around, really understand the game of football. So I think that's something that I really want to take over.
Malaki, for you to be able, you mentioned Lad McConkey, you mentioned, lining up against Bowers. What is it about your skill set that allows you to take on such a range of assignments?
Yeah, I think it's just my athletic ability, but also just my knowledge. Just really falling in love with the process of learning how to cover, learning how to, be a safety, be a slot, be a corner, be a money linebacker. Just learning my assignment and the best way to do it. And I think, I watch a lot of tape, so just being able to see guys how they move, like what's the tendencies, just things like that you pick up on with the knowledge that you get, especially at the University of Georgia. So. This year, that's tough. That's tough. You got Marvin Harrison, you got Malik Neighbors, guys that are in the league. You got Golden from Texas. You got AD when he was at Georgia, Ladd, Dominic Lovett. Me and Dom win it every day. I'm really excited to see how his journey goes with this. So, really great guys.
Now, how do you flip the switch? We've been in for 3 years. You're always this nice, easygoing guy. Where does the passion, where does the aggression come from when you get on the field? What's the mindset?
Yeah, football's just kind of been my outlet, since I was a kid. It's just where I go is who I am. It's my space to be myself. I just love it. I compete. I love the game of football.
Trash talker out there? We don't see it or hear it.
No, I stay in my lane unless somebody swerves in it. So I just I stay to myself, and I just like to compete.
Malaki, what's the hardest workout you ever done?
Probably my first Friday at the University of Georgia. You got to earn your weekend, so we came in and we did everything, like squat, bench. We did everything. Crazy weight, crazy reps, and then he made us grab like a 45-pound weight. We got these steps that lead into the indoor, so we walked down the steps. You had to walk around the field with the weight over your head. If you put it down, you had 5 sit-ups. So me and my freshman class, we're just all together. So if he put it down, we all had to put it down. So it's just that connection that we built just throughout the years. It was amazing. Yeah, just kind of being myself. Like I said earlier, him and JC, when I first got there, told me to go get it because it's open. And I think just being in that position, I called him the other day just saying, hey, what do I need to do? There's no secret to any of this. You are who you are, and at the end of the day, you can't run from that. And he just told me to be myself, and it'll work out for itself. One more time? Yes, sir. It was good. I met with him last night. It was really good. Coaching staff is amazing, really intense. Coach Adai is there. He was at the University of Georgia, so I know him pretty well. So just being able to be in that room and just talk ball, I love it. It's like my space. So
versatility's been like the buzzword of this whole podium.
Right.
Who are some of the versatile guys in the NFL? You mentioned Kyle and Tyke, but who are some of the other guys that you watch on tape and are like, I can do that?
Yeah. I think the guys I watch, like Kyle and I watch Buda Baker, a lot of Tyrann Mathieu early in his career, and even now, just being able to move around. Just guys that can make plays wherever. You place them wherever and they can go produce, and I think that's the biggest thing is just being able to produce.
Malaki, you played for Malaki. Line. I'm kind of curious, what did you learn about a guy like Michael Williams throughout this season?
Yeah, Michael's that guy, for sure. And just being able to play behind him, rush and coverage work together, he makes my job easier and I make his easier if we're both on the same page. So just being with a guy like that, watching him move and, even when I'm rushing, I'm asking tips hey, what can I do here? What can I do there? Just being able to learn, just ball in general. So just being with a guy like him was huge.
So your team, Malaki or Jalen?
Say it one more time.
Michael or Jalen?
I'm taking both.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I would say some things I can bring to an NFL franchise. Is just someone that's going to come in and earn the respect of his teammates and his coaches. A guy that's going to work hard, put his head down, and earn respect. And come in and shut down his side of the field, shut down the number one receiver, and capitalize off that and go intercept the ball. But the Bills, it was cool. Just talk ball, talked a little bit about what they like to do, talked about my game a little bit, so it went good.
Will, how recovered are you from that turf toe? What percentage?
Turf toes all good.
Have you met with the Raiders yet?
Yep.
Talk to me about that staff. What stood out?
They're a real cool staff. Coach Pete Carroll is a real chill guy, not too uptight or anything. Same thing, really just talking ball, talking about what they like to do, what I like to do, my game, and things like that. The who? Yeah. It was good. That was my first one, so I got to be there with Coach Lynch and all those guys and just talk more ball with them. They were a great group, so I liked them. I mean, however they want me to fit, really. I feel like I can come in and play my role the best in my abilities, come in and tap into all my potential that I feel like I have, so that's my goal to do. He's been real instrumental. I mean, just he lives in Buffalo, obviously, so just still being there from Buffalo. He's a pastor, so helping me in my Christianity and staying strong in my faith. And yeah, he's been one of my best trainers too. So him and my dad are a key role in my life. He's been pretty. He was a good coach. I mean, it's my first year being with him last year at Michigan. He didn't coach me specifically, but him and Coach Wink came in. They did a good job. Nope. Biggest questions, really just am I healthy? Am I participating here? How can I help their team? And then just talking ball. I don't. Oh, that's a good question. I would say the best guys I see returning are Derek Moore, Ernest Hausman, Jayshawn Barham, and Brandon Hillman. Brandon Hillman's going to be a good one for sure. I mean, I always feel like I got something to prove to myself, that I'm the best and that all my hard work is worth it. So I think, yeah, I mean, I'm not participating here, but at some point I will, and I feel like the film talks a lot too. You say in comparison to Marv? I would say Marv, to me, seems a little more dynamic. But I could tell the freshman, I ain't seen a freshman like that before in college either. So, big guy, great catch radius. So, yeah. I mean, I try not to think about it too much. I know my teammates and my coaches know how hard I work and how much I love them and that I never quit on them. So I just go about it every day, doing what I can to get better and put what I can on tape. And these coaches know that too, so yeah. Just got to wait a little bit longer. I mean, that's my guy. I mean, he's taught me a lot of things, just, how to carry myself, how to work on and off the field. He's always been a pro. So, I mean, he's just a great leader, great man. And he's doing great things on the field. I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, that's a guy I've always looked at since I was in high school, middle school, and he was in college and things like that. So I think both of us are very technical. That's a big part of our game, and being poised and being patient and things like that. So, yeah. Yeah, I would say that's all comes from preparation, film study, and just trusting my technique, trusting my film study and what I see throughout the week. So yeah, just seeing it, trusting it, and going out and doing it. He's a freak. I call him he's a gentle giant. I mean, he's the nicest guy you can meet off the field, but when he gets on the field, he's a dog. So that's my guy. Whatever team he goes to, he's going to do great things, and he's going to be a great teammate. Yeah, I did. I mean, I love meeting with the Jets. That staff was great. Love Coach Glenn and what he's done for Detroit. I'm a Detroit guy, so it was great to see what he's done. We talked a little ball, talked a little scheme too. Seemed like they got a pretty complex scheme, but I would love to play in it. And playing with Sauce would be cool. A guy I grew up around too. I think Michigan just prepares us just by, we always focus on the details and the discipline, and we do that every day. So doing that every day over time, being consistent, same thing here. You just got to show up, be consistent, handle yourself like a pro, and it'll take you a long way. A common character trait we have, I would just say hard workers and discipline. Those are two. I think using the mix of height, length, athleticism, patience, technique. That's really how that height helps me out because I still can be patient, still can have technique, and that helps me use that a little bit better. Yeah, I was really always a receiver. I chose corner because that was just what I felt like I wanted to play at in the league, and that was kind of always my dream. My dad played corner at Michigan too, so wanted to follow his legacy and do those things. So that's really why.
How did your experience as a receiver back in the day elevate your game as a defensive back, knowing what moves a receiver?
I think it helped me a lot. Just knowing off certain releases, there's only a certain amount of things they can do. Reading body language, just naturally being able to do that, and then just having those ball skills and natural knack to go get that ball out the air.
Will, what do you say to people that question your long speed? That seems to be the biggest knock on a teammate for you. What's your response to that?
Have you ever seen somebody run away from me? So let me say.
Are you going to run the 40?
Plan on it, yep. Yep. I never was really on his team because he was always older, but we went through the same programs and was around him a lot when he was in high school and I was younger. Went through a program called Sound Mind, Sound Body, so I always be on the younger team. He's on the older team, but yeah, we definitely know each other. I think that really just comes from preparation. Me knowing what I might get here and knowing where my help is and what my technique is, that just helps me trust it and go make that play. It's times where you don't make the play, it's times where you do. So at corner, you got to be able to just trust it and trust yourself.
How close were you to potentially returning to Michigan late in the year? When this decision to sit out?
There never was a decision to sit out. I physically couldn't play, couldn't be out there. So I did everything I could, every day to try to get back. I was there with my teammates in meetings and at practice, trying to still be very involved, but just never physically could play. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of goals going into this year and worked really hard in the offseason to try to prove that. But that's what comes with it. That's what comes with the game. So you got to do what you can do, keep working, and get ready to prepare to get on this level. Yeah, I have. Well, it was good. They had great energy, great coaches, so I'm excited to see where it goes. What'd you say? That would mean everything. That would be a dream come true. Those are my guys. That's family. Seeing them here, it meant a lot. Just know that family, and we had a lot of special moments together. So, that would be something really special. Yeah, I'll be there.
What do you know about Green Bay and what's it going to be like kind of being in such a unique environment here?
I don't know a ton, but I know Lambeau Field's a very historical field, so that would be cool to be in that area and see how it is, really.
Will, talk about your battles with Roman Wilson
I meet with the Steelers today, but Roman, he's a speedy guy, so I always challenge myself to kind of go against him. He's smaller, speedy guys. Those are kind of the most challenging guys to go against. So, but he did a lot of great things at Michigan. Unfortunately, he was a little banged up this year, but I'm sure he'll get back and do great things for the Steelers. It's a formal today. No, I zoomed in with the DB coach and the safeties coach, I believe. So, and then Coach Lynch was there and a few other guys too. Yeah, it went well. It depends on the down and distance and depends on a lot of different things. But, I like to go up and play press man. I like to play zone and get picks. So really it all depends on the situation.
Who are the NFL players
I would say Pastor Tan. That's a guy I've always watched for a while, growing up. And I like just his patience that he plays with, his technique. J.C. Horn, I like that dog he plays with. He still got the technique and things too. And then Ramsey, he's just playmaker. Go out there and get it done. Yeah, I did. Went well. Same thing. Just talking ball, getting the feel for each other, getting to know each other, and we'll see where it goes. It wasn't a ton of difference. Only difference would be, I mean, it was Sharon's first year, so he had to do some learning and things like that, and so did we. So had to learn how to get aligned and be together, and he had it wasn't the exact same program as Coach Harbaugh, so he had to find his way and his identity and things like that too. So yeah. It went well. Coach Mike, he's a very funny guy. So yeah, it was cool to be in that room.
Last one for Will.
I try not to worry about it because I know whoever gets me, they're gonna get a good pick. So I mean, that's up to them to decide, and I don't worry about all the hype and all those things.
Well, thanks, guys. What thing that you could change about the college football playoff 12 team format?
I would say go back to 4. I think it's a little watered down now, but that's it.
No doubt the Colts would be thrilled to have any of those 3 young men. Chris Ballard, their Colts GM, said on Tuesday, getting better offensively over the middle of the field, that's what they have to improve on. Tyler Warren, come on down. Defensive backfield depth there, especially an alpha corner like Will Johnson, and then a guy who's very versatile, that safety Malaki Starks. Again, all 3 of those young men would fit in to the Indianapolis Colts locker room very, very well and make an impact immediately, and that's what you want out of your first-round pick. Hey, I tell you what, we're going to have more analysis of these 3 guys and really what the Colts are looking at large come April in the NFL Draft with Locked On Colts Jake Arthur. That's going to be coming up for you after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to the Indiana Convention Center, day 3 of NFL Scouting Combine festivities. Joining me now, Locked On Colts, Jake Arthur. Jake, thanks so much for making some time for us as we go through kind of who the Colts might be looking at come April. All right, so today we've heard from a couple defensive backs, Malaki Starks, Will Johnson, then, of course, the guy everybody's looking at, tight end Tyler Warren. So before we get into those guys, we were talking off camera, kind of a wide open maybe selection for the Colts on who they might take in the first round. What do you view as this team's biggest need? I know we've talked about defensive back, tight end, offensive line. What do you say?
I think the biggest holes right now, even just when you consider free agents and their depth chart, what it truly lacks, I think they have got to have a true free safety for Lou Anarumo. Lou told us they got to have trust back there. They have to have smart defensive players. And a tight end, like Anthony Richardson needs a safety valve so bad. Their whole passing game is vertical in part because it's just Josh Downs on the short stuff. So they need a safety blanket for Anthony. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they just need some really high football IQ and instincts in the secondary.
Yeah, Chris Ballard said getting better over the middle of the field offensively is somewhere they need to improve. And it's not like they haven't invested in the tight end position, right? Kylan Granson was a draft pick. Will Mallory, Drew Ogletree, the list goes on and on. It feels like they have 5 or 6 tight ends on the roster come every training camp. But it's hard to pass if Tyler Warren is available on him if he's there.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Warren, I mean, the term generational gets thrown around a lot, but we saw Brock Bowers last year. We'll say he's a true blue chip tight end 1 player for any team in the NFL, basically. You got a guy who can block and catch the ball. He can make plays after the catch with the ball in his hands. He's a true every down player that you just don't pass up on. So they got sniped, Brock Bowers right in front of them last year. He went and set all sorts of records, so don't make that mistake again. If you feel you need to move up to get him, do it. Because you need a guy like that on your team.
Yeah, 100% worth it. We saw what he did against Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl during that college football playoff run. I mean, he's a huge guy. He won the Mackey Award, his first team All-American, a guy you just want on your football team. There's no doubt about it. But you mentioned free safety. I know we heard from a guy today, Malaki Starks, solid out of Georgia. What do you make of him? I mean, is that more important than the cornerback position, you would say, or where do you view that?
Corner definitely has needs. I think they've got some guys there, but they're kind of playing with fire based on injuries. But specifically in Lou Anarumo's new defense, they need that center fielder who can kind of keep everything in front of him. He had Jesse Bates in Cincinnati, and we've heard a lot about Lou Anarumo being multiple. And a guy like Malaki Starks from Georgia, that describes him perfectly. He can play outside corner, slot, deep safety, in the box. Like, he can do it all. I asked him about that this morning. You know, what have teams' big questions for you been? And he's like, just where I'm most comfortable playing. And he wants to be moved around. He wants to play everywhere. And the Colts kind of need that because they lack depth, behind Kenny Moore and they lack depth in so many certain spots, and he can fill a lot of those gaps.
Yeah, I heard him mention versatility a lot this morning when he was addressing the media, and you took the words right out of my mouth. Depth, right? Juju Brents goes down. Feels like it was a merry-go-round of who was going to play corner there, and then the safety position. Julian Blackmon, maybe a down year from one of his best years the year prior, and then of course Nick Cross coming on a little later in the season. Okay. Will Johnson, corner. I know you just mentioned kind of safety versus corner there as far as the Colts are concerned. He's a solid player. I believe he was the defensive MVP in the national championship in 2023. What do you make of him not participating in combine activities this week?
Yeah, so there were some questions about his health. He said that is one of the biggest questions teams had for him. Are you healthy? Are you working out? This and that, which he's not going to do. He said he'll do some things at the pro day. But, last year the Colts got very fortunate to have a blue-chip guy like Latu fall in their lap, someone who was widely considered top 10 by just about every mock draft, and that feels like Will Johnson this year. A guy with some question marks about his health, but had great college production, has accomplished just about everything you could in college. But the Colts could really use a lockdown cornerback like that. It's not piecemeal. They got lucky with Jalen Jones in the 7th round. Samuel Womack was a nice find from waivers. But Juju Brents has been banged up, and unfortunately you haven't been able to hang your hat on him being there. Will Johnson gives them that alpha corner they've lacked for a really long time.
Yeah, no question about it. It just feels like we're waiting to see Juju Brents break out, but he's not on the field to do so. And then, yeah, you're absolutely right. We had a lot of question marks, and Samuel Womack came in, and to his credit, he played pretty well, as did the Colts secondary. But, okay, so we talked about defensive backs and, of course, the tight end position. Those are two glaring needs, but we heard Chris Ballard mention offensive line, and especially in those middle rounds. Is there anyone that maybe is not on our radar that we should look at filling out some offensive line depth? We don't know what's going to happen with Ryan Kelly as he enters free agency, and, of course, Braden Smith battling a personal issue, says he wants to get back to football. But offensive line depth, anyone we're not keeping our eyes on maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see where some of these offensive linemen go, because this year it's a good group. And like Chris said, about rounds 3 to 5 or so, it's a good group. But a lot of these guys have position versatility, or they're just have kind of tweener size where you don't know where to play them. A guy like Gray Zabel really stood out at the Senior Bowl. He's got 5 position flexibility. Marcus Bowe from Purdue is another guy who probably somewhere around the 3rd or 4th round. Do you play him at tackle, guard, center? He's a guy you can kind of plug in everywhere. But the Colts have a lot of questions on that offensive line. And any of these guys who have that tweener size and the flexibility to play in multiple spots, it'd be wise to get one of them.
Versatility, man. We just keep saying it. It is key. You want a guy who's a real football player, right? Yeah. Okay, really appreciate your insight, Jake Arthur. Last thing I have for you, how important is this draft for Chris Ballard? He's hung his hat on being an elite talent evaluator, right? Yeah. He's made it. We were also talking off air, and you don't close your ears, Colts fans. But Jake says maybe it would make sense to trade back in this first round, and that's something we've of course grown accustomed to seeing from Chris Ballard. But it's a make it or break it year. It feels like that goes without saying. But how important is this draft? Maybe it's a obvious question, but what do you make of this draft for Chris Ballard?
Well, I think free agency is even more important, because free agency kind of sets the plate for your draft a little bit. When you just sit on your hands in free agency and you don't add true depth, you don't bring in real competition, it puts so much weight and importance on your draft class, and that's not always fair for those guys, because they draft a lot of guys who need time to develop, but they haven't done enough in free agency to give those guys the time to develop. So as far as the draft goes, I do think they need to do a better job of hitting on their early round picks. Right. You look at their 2nd round throughout Chris Ballard's tenure, and it's a lot of what ifs and missed opportunities. A lot of the guys they've gotten in the 1st round have been decent players, but kind of just guys, not difference makers. 100%. I think Chris and the staff there has done a great job in the middle to late rounds, finding guys to fill out their whole roster, but that's what their roster is. So nail your early picks and get guys who are true difference makers. Be aggressive. They have tried to move up at times, but just haven't been able to land the guys they want. Right. You do it this time around. Just throw caution to the wind. If you see a guy who you think is a true dynamic difference maker, go get him.
Yeah. Feels like the sense of urgency has to be there. There's no doubt about it. All right, we'll see if Chris Ballard changes his philosophy in free agency, if he can nail this upcoming draft. That's Jake Arthur, Locked On Colts. You can see it right here on WTHR Plus, as well as all your NFL scouting combine content.